Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. So I started watching BoJack Horseman last year from the start. I didn't watch it till last year. I caught up to it, then the final season came along and I watched the first half of it when it came out, obviously in late 2019. And the second half just came out in 2020. So the show's all over now. It's the final season is done. Interesting ending as well. But this show, I was not ready for it. I was really not ready for it. It's very dark and deep and sad, depressing, but it's amazing storytelling. It delves into a lot of mental health issues, a lot of real world issues. It delves into suicide, drug addiction, drug overdose, depression. It goes really, really deep into these things, these dark, depressing things in life. And it's really good. It's a really good show with some brilliant storytelling, a lot of great episodes in here. When I first watched it, when I was going into it, I was just like, I don't know what to expect. Like, I knew it was animated. It was on Netflix, animated, 25 minutes episodes. So I thought it's going to be like a sitcom, like Family Guy. But when I actually watched it, I didn't know what was coming. I genuinely had no idea what was coming. It was a very serious show, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. It's got a good cast as well. It's got a great cast for voice acting, and this is just a really good show. A really good show that's depressing, but just really good. It has you hooked. Episode after episode. It's so good at doing what it does. It's also quite relatable in many ways. It depends on who you are, really, but like, I think a lot of people relate to this show, relate to the issues that BoJack has in the show and other characters have in the show. And BoJack is a horse, so in this universe, animals and humans coexist. It's completely normal. They're all like the same. They're all people. I mean, they're not all people, but you get the point. They all like live. They all coexist is the point. So you have these weird relationships like dog and human, horse and human, and it's all normal in this universe. It's just it's just a little weird at times. But it's only animated show. Obviously, it's fictional, but still. That's not the main part of it. Like, it's funny how this show is so serious. You just forget that, wait a second, a horse here is with a human. And there's a human here banging a bull. Like, that's a little weird. But we forget about these things because the show's so serious and so good at what it does. And basically, BoJack is a finished actor. Basically, he had a popular TV show in the past, and now he's washed up and he lives in Hollywood. It's called Hollywood in the show, right? And he makes a lot of mistakes. He's depressed, he has addictions, and he hurts a lot of people that are close to him. And he messes up. He messes up a lot. But at times, he wants to redeem himself. He wants to get better, and he tries to get better only to mess up again. He's that type of person. He tries to get better to mess up again. And he hurts people around him, he loses his friends, he loses people close to him, and he does a lot of things wrong, makes a lot of mistakes. And he makes a lot of serious mistakes, like modern mistakes, things that are just wrong. He does things that are just wrong and ridiculous and disgusting. And even though he wants to get better every single time, he keeps going back to this place where he makes mistakes again, where he hurts people, and he doesn't know when to stop sometimes. And towards the end of the final season, these things that I did in the past start to catch up to him, start to punish him, start to come for him, and things go wrong as well towards the end as well. I can't really say much without spoiling it, but it's a really good show. I recommend it. Watch season 1, see what you think, but honestly, it gets better every single season, in my opinion. I think this show is solid, every season is good, and I just highly recommend it. Like, this show it's so good. It's depressing, and it makes you want to cry, but it's really good. It's really good. Story-wise, there's so many levels to it. There's so much depth to this show, and it's just brilliant. I did not think I'd get this from an animated show about animals and humans having relationships with each other, but it does it. It does it so damn well. Netflix introduced 13 Reasons Why to deal with suicidal issues and stuff. BoJack does it better. BoJack does that job better than 13 Reasons Why, the show made to go into these sort of issues. If I was to rate it, I would say 9 out of 10. I would consider putting it in my top 10 TV shows of all time. I honestly think it's that good. I really like this show. There's some moments in this show that stick out to me. So there's one called Fish Out of the Water, season 3, episode 4. That whole episode is a masterpiece. When he's underwater and he's got someone's child and he's trying to return that child to someone else, that whole episode is brilliant. It's just absolutely fantastic, and the way it ends is funny as well. Sarah Lynn, if you know, you know. Season 3, episode 11. What happens to Sarah Lynn is tragic and very depressing, and you find out things that she says and things that he says that make it even deeper. And when what happens, it just hits so hard, because they spend this whole episode building up where they say these things that are really deep about her, and then when you get to the end, when what happens, it hits really hard. It's really sad to see what you see, but it's done so well. And even though it's the most depressing episode, probably, it was just the way they did it. It just tore at your heartstrings. It was really good. Season 5, episode 6, Bojack's eulogy at a funeral. I was just laughing because he was at the wrong funeral this whole time, and things he was saying, it was just hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing when I was watching that. There was Hollyhock's anxiety attack when the guy comes and helps her. The way he helps her, I think it's quite interesting, and I think that works in real life as well. So I don't know why that like connected with me, but I like that scene a lot. I think that was great, like how someone came and comforted her just like that. And the penultimate episode, so this episode 15 in the final season, the way it ends is very sad. And to be fair, that could have been ending for the whole show, but then there was another finale. But the way the second last episode ended was a very sad ending, a very, very sad ending. Just the way it's done, it just tears at your heartstrings, it just pulls at your heartstrings. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I could say a lot more, to be fair, but we'd be here all night if I just said every single good moments or every single important moments. But there's some picks there about like moments that I related to, not related to, but moments that I felt were key moments in the show. So yeah, this is a good show, and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's really good, so watch it if you can. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.